All right, so good morning, everybody. We're going to start seated today, but have a strap near you, have a block near you. And if you can, go ahead and put your strap in a loop. We'll worry about how big or wide to get it, but if you have a strap, go ahead and put it in a loop so that we won't have to worry about that too much afterwards. And then move the flesh out from the sit bones. Start to find your breath. Good. Maybe roll those shoulders a couple of times. Just stretch it out. Good. Maybe one more. And then let your hands rest either on your knees, your thighs, maybe in your lap. And notice that wherever you put your hands, notice how that feels in the shoulders. Some people will reach out, kind of have the hands out here, and I find that so tension creating in the shoulders. I'm not sure why that's taught. So allow the shoulders to be at the side body, the chest slightly lifted, the tailbone dropping down. The elbows are heavy, the hands are soft. And then start to notice your inhale and your exhale. Just taking a nice easy breath in. And letting it go. And see if you can follow the fullness of your breath without straining. So keep inhaling until you come to kind of a natural end of the inhale. And maybe pause at the top. And then allow a purposeful exhale until you come to the bottom of that and pause. And experience how your body takes in and releases the breath. Where do you feel the inhale the most? Does it move from belly to lungs? Does it stay mostly in the chest? Do your shoulders rise with the inhale? All of those things, just not really changing anything, just notice. Couple more here. And on your next exhale, let your chin come down to your chest. Don't let the shoulders roll forward. Keep the upper back neutral. And just let the head be heavy here. And once again, notice where you feel the majority of your stretch. Is it in your upper neck? Is it in the upper back? Maybe it's in the mid back. Maybe it's down one shoulder. And then very slowly bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Press gently down the left elbow. So as we stretch the whole left side of the neck, we tend to want to kind of tilt to the right side. So stay even on your torso, dropping ear to shoulder, pressing down the left shoulder, making that deeper. Breathe, and then tilt the head down toward your chest, go to the other side. Again, level out the torso. ear to shoulder, right elbow pressing a little bit harder away. Find your breath. Good, chin to chest, go back to the right side. Take the left hand down to the floor, left fingertips to the floor. Notice here, and then bring your chin to your right shoulder. And then maybe a little arc up toward the ceiling. Be mindful of your neck. Bringing the chin down and reaching it toward the ceiling. Don't do anything that hurts. Don't do anything you know you should not do. Good, one more right here. Just stretching out the tissue. And then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Breathe. Tuck the right chin, tuck the chin towards your right chest. Stretch it out. You might feel this more through the left shoulder, the left trapezius. And then tuck that chin, bring your ear over to your left shoulder. Take your left hand back to your knee. Relax your jaw, right fingertips to the floor. Draw the breath in and let it go. Good, and then same thing, the chin heads down toward the shoulder, and then maybe reaches up to the ceiling. Nice and easy, just stretching it. Bring the breath in. Good, one more right here, stretch it. And then left ear to left shoulder. And then tuck the chin to the left side chest. And release it, chin to chest, right at the center. Roll your shoulders back, take the head back to neutral. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, halfway down. Reach your right arm across, grab that right elbow with your left hand, stretch it across, and then allow the body to twist to the left and come back to center. Good, and allow it to twist and center. Good, two more, twist, center. Last one, twist. And center, good. Same right arm goes up to the ceiling. The elbow bend, you tap yourself on the back. Take the left arm out, internally rotate that shoulder, reach the left hand behind. Maybe you find your fingertips, maybe not. Don't strain here. This is one of those, as we strain to touch fingers, the head does weird things, the shoulders do weird things. We don't want any of that. Big deep breath. One more. And release those hands. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, halfway down, bring the left arm across, grab it with your right hand, soft shoulders. Oh yeah, there's my tight spot. And twist to the right, and then take it center, twist, and center. One more right there, twist, and center. Release that left hand, take it up to the ceiling. Pat yourself on the back. Right arm goes out to the side. Internally rotate. Reach that hand behind. See if the fingertips are there or not. And breathe, everybody. Notice head is neutral. So you're not tucking your chin. You're not diving through your head. Just stretching out the shoulders here a little bit. Good, when you're ready, release. Ooh, yeah. Inhale, reach up. Hands come to your heart, prayer pose. And then allow the hands to start to dive down toward the floor. It's just stretching the wrist. Keep the fingers touching. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, press the hands down, press the wrist. My wrists are separated a little bit, but I'm still getting a good stretch. Fingers are touching. Good, and inhale up. Exhale, last one here, stretch it out. And then from here, allow the fingers to interlace. Press it out. Inhale, reach up. Arch through the back a little bit, stretch, and then exhale, curl it all in. Good, inhale, take it up. Exhale, curl in. Good, 3 more. Inhale, big deep breath. Exhale, curl. 2 more. Inhale it up. Exhale, curl in. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, curl it in. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Separate those hands. Right hand down. Left arm over. Press down through the left side hip, the left side ribs. And then notice that you can reach the left side ribs out more, right? Creating a deeper stretch through the ribs. You can draw the left ribs in, and notice that that engages that side body and works the muscles. So we're stretching them out, and then we're contracting them to build. Good, 2 more right here. Stretch out, deep stretch, and then squeeze the ribs back in. Last one, stretch out and squeeze it in. Good, and then squeeze your belly, take those arms up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm over. Notice if the fingers are feeling crampy or overstretched, keep them soft, even though they're pointing up toward that ceiling. Good, breathe, and then stretch out the right side ribs. Really stretch, make a big C pattern, and then squeeze them in. Yeah, and stretch them out. And squeeze them in. This is really nice side body work. And squeeze them in, release that left hand, take it up to the ceiling, both arms out to the sides, internally rotate both arms, and then cross your elbows or your hands behind you, see if you can reach opposite elbow. And then lift up your chest, but then feel your low back lengthen so that you're not just arching into this pose. So the elbows are getting heavier and heavier as if you could touch them to the floor. Breathe, 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 stretch it out. And release, inhale, take it up. And exhale, just release. Nice job, everybody. Straighten those legs. Woo, curl out your ankles. Breathe, roll out those shoulders. And then bend both feet, or both knees, bend both feet. Bend both knees. Find yourself just a little wider, maybe twice as wide as your normal hips width apart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take your right hand to your left foot, your left hand behind. And you're just stretching through the back shoulder. Good, breathe here. And then inhale up. Exhale, take your left hand to your right foot. Right hand behind. Good, inhale. Exhale, switch. So bringing in a little twist, right? Still stretching. Notice what happens when you stretch the back of the right shoulder versus when you pull it back in, right? Pull it back away. Inhale up. Exhale, switch left hand to right foot. Oh, breathe, breathe, breathe. And inhale up. This time, both hands, both feet. And breathe, just stretch it out. And notice, right, I'm not moving my feet, but I'm pulling my shoulders back. I'm trying to engage between the shoulder blades, keeping it really active. Your hands are inside your legs. So notice elbows or upper arms really are near the knees. I want you to press the knees in gently and press the arms out gently. So you're creating all this dynamic of the muscles working. Now we're working inner thighs. We're working the shoulders, arms to resist that inward push. Finding our breath here. Now lengthen the spine even more. Like take all that rounding out of your upper back and just lengthen. Good, release, curl it all the way up. Straighten the legs out in front of you, move the flesh out from those sit bones. Engage the legs, Dandasana. And notice maybe already the shoulders don't feel quite as tense as we press down into the floor. As we breathe, flex through the feet, engage the quadricep muscles. Find those legs really fired up, maybe take the arms up. and breathe. Good, and then as if you just alternate the arms, as if you were doing a little bit more side work, bring one arm down as you squeeze up through the other arm, but don't forget about the legs. And switch the arms, and switch, and switch, there you go, a couple more, switch, and left arm up, last set, reach with the right arm, reach with the left arm, take both arms up, take both arms out to the sides, internally rotate, take the elbows behind you, grab opposite elbow, lengthen your tailbone, fire up your legs, and breathe. See if you can lift one leg. Don't lean too far back, right? We don't have our hands to help us here, so don't lean too far back. And lower down, lift the other leg, fire up that quad. And lower down, lift your chest. Everybody take the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down. Good, roll it out. And then take your left leg, your left sole of your foot to the inner right thigh, Janu Sirsasana. Maybe a block goes underneath your left knee. Grab your strap and just take it around your right foot. Roll your shoulders back. Instead of coming forward, I want you to pull back. I want you to widen through the shoulder blades, widen through the collarbones, right? That whole front body. Because so often in yoga, and more so in life, we round those shoulders forward. So I want you to stretch the collarbones away from each other. And breathe. Keep pulling on that foot if it's okay for you, stretching the back of the leg. Keep grounding through that leg. Keep lifting up your chest. Squeeze the belly in. Find your breath here. Good, and then release the press back and bend the elbows to start to come forward. But maybe you pause at the first stretch. Right, normally this is an easier stretch for me, but because I was in a car for so long yesterday, hamstrings are super tight this morning. So I'm just gonna see, I'm pulling back on the strap, I'm bending the elbows back toward my waist. I am doing my best not to round my back. So collarbones stay wide the whole time. And then maybe if it lets go a little bit, you come a little bit more forward. The challenge here is not to let the chin, right, lead the way, not to let the head lead the way. Allow the torso to kind of float over the leg, if that makes sense, right? I'm always thinking of this torso coming over the leg as opposed to my head coming down to the leg. Good, one more big deep breath right here. Ooh, good, and take it up. Release the strap. Straighten your left leg, shake it out. Once again, find Dandasana. Press down through the legs. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale them halfway out. Internally rotate, reach behind, grab opposite elbows. Lift the chest as the elbows get heavy. Find your breath. Lift one leg, just hang on, breathe, keep the chest lifted, right? Breathe. The chin is level, by the way. You're not lifting your head back. See if the leg will come up more. See if you'll lean back just a little bit more to work your core. And sit up and lower that leg. Lift the chest. Press down through the left leg. Lift the other leg, or whichever leg you didn't lift before. Lift your chest. The leg doesn't have to come that high. Don't worry about that. But if you want, lean back a little bit more. See if you can lift that leg a little bit more. And exhale, lower that down. Lift your chest. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale them down. And then switch sides. The right leg comes in, the left leg long. Janu on this side. Block or no block under the knee. Even if you don't normally use a block, sometimes it can be a really interesting change in the pose if you do. So sometimes I'll play with that even though I don't really need one there. So sit up tall, pull on the strap, open up both shoulders and collarbones, and breathe. Think of like the most grand posture that you could find. Imagine a book on the top of your head, everything is centered, the shoulders are wide, the chest is lifted. Take a deep breath. Good, and then maybe bend the elbows, maybe take the arms forward, or the elbows forward, or back as the chest lifts forward. I'll get it right. Breathe. I don't know if I've ever told you the story. When I was a younger teenager, I think I was 14, 15, maybe a little bit older. I was kind of a gangly teenager, you know, I was taller than I should have been at the time, or at least it felt that way. And I really had terrible posture. I slouched forward. I didn't like having my chest out there. And I saw a woman walk in the room, and she was an older woman. And I wouldn't say that she was beautiful by today's standards, but when she walked in the room, I thought she was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. And it was because of her posture, oddly enough. Good, release your stretch as you come up, and straighten your right leg and shake it out. When she walked in the room, she was just like, she was so grand and so beautiful, and she seemed so powerful and confident. And as a 15-year-old girl, I was like, wow, that's what I want to be. And that was the beginning of shifting my posture to something different. So a little feedback there. Good, bend your knees, everybody. If you can, cross your legs again, or find a comfortable way to seat. Grab one of your blocks. Take it out in front of you. I'll sit sideways just so you can see here. All I want you to do is press the block out, so shoulders, chest compress and reach forward, and then slide the shoulder blades back. So I'm not bending my elbows, I'm just reaching forward and reaching back and squeezing the shoulder blades. Good, 3 more. Press forward and squeeze back. Whew. And press forward and squeeze back, right? Moving through the shoulder blades. Good, press forward and move back. One more time, press forward and squeeze it back. Good, and then let go of your block. Take that same block on the widest setting. Inhale, reach it up. Good, soften the lower ribs, bend your elbows, take the block behind you. Let that block rest at the back of your head, and then press the head back. Notice if you're lifting the chin, don't do that. Keep the head neutral, but just press that head back. Gentle here, right? We're not like trying to kill ourselves, but just keep it easy. And then notice, and then maybe look up, head fully supported by your block, starting to open up the chest, starting to come into a back bend. Good, big deep breath. And then release that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take that block straight down to the floor. Inhale it straight forward, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Take the arms up, bend your elbows, straighten, and take it down. 3 more. Inhale it up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Don't let your elbows splay out to the sides. Try to keep them close to your ears. Good. And up, squeeze. Inhale up, down. Last one. Inhale. Squeeze the elbows. Take them up and down. Good. And then take the block in one hand, take it out to the side. Turn it around, bring it behind you, grab it with your other hand, take it out. Circle, open, and behind. Again, the tricky thing, don't drop chest and head as you're circling. 2 more this direction, and I swear we'll be done with shoulders, or at least this part. Good, and then switch directions, open, reach behind, grab your block. I love this work. This is really good work for the shoulders, for staying in as much mobility as you can with shoulders, with range of motion. Last one, everybody. Take it behind And release that block. Holy moly, set that aside, roll your shoulders. And then I want you to grab your block, because this is gonna come and visit us later. Or sorry, grab your strap. And take it into a wide enough loop that when you put it on your kind of upper forearms, you feel like you are about shoulders width apart, or where your hand would normally be for downward facing dog. And the way you're gonna know that is from your seated position. I want you to take the hands down and squeeze against your strap. This is so hard to do when you don't see people like right in front of you. So what I'm hoping that you feel, right? We talk about down dog a lot, and you can bring the hands closer up. We talk about in downward facing dog, the upper external rotation of the shoulders. But how do we weight bear in the hands and yet not scrunch into the shoulders, into the chest? Here is your little primer. So as we press through the arms, I'm pushing out fairly strong through my arms. I'm opening up the collarbones. I'm engaging a little bit through the shoulder blades, right, behind us. And then I'm just getting a sense of what would happen. You can come closer and feel that. You can come further out with your hands and feel that, right, as we start to play with the idea of one plank to downward facing dog, right? It's a lot more work to keep the integrity of the shoulders, and then keep the tension on the strap and just lift the arms up. And notice, be gentle. They don't have to be straight up if that is painful or if that's not good for you. But again, a gentle push against the strap to feel the work. You feel that? Right, there's a whole lot going on there. And then slowly lower it down. Slow, slow, slow. Keep the tension. A lot of work here. Hands come back to the floor. I press those shoulders away from each other. I widen through the chest. And then release it. And let go. Roll your shoulders. Yeah. And then set that strap aside. Your blocks are where you can get to them. Let's come on off of our behinds here, come to table pose. Spread the fingers. In fact, you know what? Let's play with the strap a little bit more. So grab your strap, should be about that same right size loop. Take your arms through it. And then just come to table pose. It's tricky to get it up there. And then come to table pose, which really should be about the same distance for you. If it won't stay below elbows, put it above elbows. That might be a little bit easier. The challenge there is not to bend out through the elbows with it above. So notice how that feels. Your fingers are spread out. If it feels too wide, tighten up the strap a little bit. Keep the arms, but then do a few cats and cows. That's it. And breathe. And notice, right, as the arms stay more engaged, how that affects your spine, how that affects your movement. Good. A few more. Just stretch, 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 and down. And stretch. I'm going to try to lower that below the elbows again. There we go. Good, and then come to a neutral spine, flip your toes under, and just lift your knees off the floor and press against the strap. If it feels funky above elbows, lower it to below elbows. And breathe, and then see if you can bring the hips back as you come to downward facing dog. Yep, just notice the change here. And then come to plank pose. Still with that strap. Lower your knees and release. And set your strap aside. We talk, or I talk anyway, about holding on to the beach ball. It's almost the same thing. We want that internal pressure and yet the external pressure. So come back to table pose. Feel the imaginary strap. press against it. And at the same time, squeeze your beach ball. It's a big beach ball. So press out, externally rotate upper arms, and get the forearms almost come toward each other. So we have this interplay of the muscles working. Flip your toes under, squeeze your belly, take the knees off the floor. Press out through the arms, press in through the arms, isometric work. And then start to take yourself to downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Don't go into your old habits here. So I want you to press out against that imaginary strap. I want you to press in the beach ball and breathe as you flip your toes and stretch out your legs. Good, and then hold your downward facing dog. Squeeze the belly in, widen your collarbones. Squeeze the beach ball, but press against the strap. Big deep breath. And then come to plank pose. Yep. Squeeze the beach ball, press against the strap. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. And then just come on off those wrists. In whatever way makes sense. And curl it out, right? Usually the wrists are the weak point. So we stretch them out. We give them some love. Ooh, good. And then come back to table pose for a moment and step forward right leg. Take one of your blocks to where your left hand would be. Find that nice lunge. Take your hand to your right knee and just twist to the right. And as you twist to the right, give yourself permission to let the hips sink down a little bit, stretching through your quadricep. Oh yeah. Breathe. Now roll the right shoulder back and away from your ear. Yeah. And notice. Now push down into the block, but make yourself taller. So maybe even you bend your elbow. I know you can't see this because my leg's in the way, but bend your elbow and then push yourself out your left hand. Good, one more time. Bend your elbow and then push out, push out, push out. You're opening up into a twist. Your belly's toned. Maybe the right arm comes up. Good, deep breath, everybody. And then face both shoulders forward and circle that arm down, back, up, and forward. You got it. Good, 3 more. Breathe the whole time your left leg stretches. We breathe. Last one. That's it. Reach and hand to the floor. The hand comes off your block on the left side. Maybe you lift your knee and step back to plank. Maybe not. Maybe the knees are on the floor. Perfectly wonderful. Squeeze the beach ball and yet externally rotate upper shoulders. Lengthen through both sides, front and back of your neck. Engage your legs, think Dandasana. And lower your knees to the floor. Oh, step forward, left leg. Your right hand goes to your block. Your left hand goes to your knee. And you gaze over your left shoulder. And allow your right quadricep, your right psoas to stretch a little bit here. And then same thing, bend your right elbow. And then push it out and make yourself tall. 2 more. Bend down, as if you're doing like a one-arm push-up, right? And up. Good, last one. Bend your elbow. And then push it up. Roll your left shoulder away from your ear. And then take the arm up. Find your breath. And then circle your left arm. Big circles, everybody. Stretch it out. Breathe. 2 more. You got it. Last one. And let that hand come down to the floor. Set your block aside. Lift your right knee. Step back to plank. Big deep breath. Right, where is your plank? In fact, do me a favor and just kind of float from down dog to a high plank. And then back to down dog. And back to plank. Just check it out. And when you stop in plank, lower the knees, but keep the body. Tuck the belly. Lengthen your tailbone. Push out of the floor. Yeah, right? And then lift your knees. See if you can hold that. And then down dog and see if you can hold that. And then lower your knees to the floor. Oh. Come off your hands. Squeeze your fingers. And spread, squeeze, and spread, stretch them out. Right? Good. Come on back to table pose. Take your left foot forward. Take the hand to your right block, or your right hand to the block. This time, lift your right knee off the floor. Squeeze your belly. Gaze over your left shoulder, roll your left shoulder back, take the left arm up. So it's a high twist instead of the low one. Certainly, definitely keep that knee on the floor if that makes sense for you. And then take that same top arm, internally rotate it, reach it behind you, and see if you can find the opposite side waist. Breathe, breathe, breathe. That's it. And then release that arm, take it up to the ceiling, lower that hand down to the floor, set your block away, step back, plank pose. Squeeze your legs, tone your belly, knees up or knees down. Breathe. Float to down dog. See if you can have the feet and the hands in a place where you don't really have to shift the feet too much. As you go plank to dog, arms strong to plank, to downward facing dog. Come to plank, just lower the knees, keep the form, bend the elbows a couple of inches. Find that, press up. Nice job, everybody. And then when you're ready, step forward, right leg. Your hand, your left hand goes to your block. Your left knee is either down or it's up. Squeeze your glutes, engage your legs, glance over your right shoulder. Like, oh, hello there. Here I am. Press strongly out of your left arm, left hand. Don't sink in, right? Make yourself tall. And when you're ready, the right arm goes up. Notice if your knee goes out of alignment or if your back foot turns one way or the other. Try to keep strong on that back heel or that back ball mount. Breathe. Don't overlift your chin. And circle that hand down. Lower your knee. Slide that block out of the way. Slide your right knee back. And come back to a nice wide-legged child's pose. Just breathe, everybody. Maybe curl the wrists, maybe curl the fingers. Good. And then come on up. Down dog. Walk your hands purposefully back. Bend your knees and come on up to standing. And exhale. Good. Roll your shoulders. Right, down dog plank. All of that working. These upper shoulders, trapezius, latissimus dorsi, right? Everything working. Good. As you're standing, come to mountain pose, but have your strap. Take the strap around your arms, upper elbows, and then extend the arms out. Your legs are active, so just don't let them be too lazy. Keep the glutes active. And then notice again, right now I have my palms facing each other, and I'm gonna push against the strap. Have the elbow to the finger side of your elbows, the strap, instead of above. So that you have good purchase there and the elbows aren't tempted to bend. Good. Press back or press out. Squeeze the shoulder blades, widen your collarbones. Oh, keep that energy. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Come forward, forward, fold. Just let your fingertips touch. Maybe lengthen through your back so you're not rounding. Maybe the fingertips come a little bit forward. Head is neutral. Can you keep the tension? And then bend your knees. Squeeze your belly. Start to lift up through your arms and find chair pose. Oh yeah. So we're pressing. Now, I bet chair pose never felt like this much work for your upper body, right? I'm not even thinking about my legs right now because the arms are working so hard. Good. Squat down, straighten the legs, let the arms come down. And just soften against that strap so that you're not pushing so hard. Whew. Good. Same thing. If the strap slipped, bring it back to just below your elbows, the finger side of your elbows. Squeeze against the strap. Bend your elbow or bend your knees and find that pose. Now, squeeze in your belly. Start to lengthen your chest. Bend the knees as you take the arms up and find chair pose number 2. And breathe. See, I thought this was going to be way more just an easy stretching class, but apparently my body needs this more than it needs a gentle, easy stretching class. Find your breath, everybody. Press against those straps. Keep the collarbones wide and sink down, sink down, sink down. Ooh, straighten the legs. Relax the shoulders. We got one more. Bend your knees, squeeze your belly, engage those arms, palms face each other. You start to lift up. That's hard work, I know it is. Press those arms against each other or away from each other. Woo! Find your breath, everybody. Find that chair pose. Maybe shake your hips a little bit. Maybe go side to side, right? Oh, yeah. Good, breathe, and then stand all the way up. And then find this mountain pose as with the arms raised up. Notice all that work. And then lower your arms. Whew. And release your strap. And maybe feel all the blood flow going on in those shoulders. It's amazing to me, again, what you can do to keep all this strong without overdoing it, right? So feet are a little bit wider. Ask you to be mindful here. Take the hands behind you, grab opposite elbows. If you can't grab elbows easily, just separate a little bit. Maybe you're grabbing wrists. And then lift the chest, but lengthen the tailbone. Your feet are slightly wider. Soft knees, I want you to come to a forward fold. If this is tough on your lower back, your hands come to the floor for support. Your head's hanging straight down. Breathe. And then bend your knees, lift your chest, come to this funky chair pose, no arms, right? Lift your chest, don't reach the chin, keep the head neutral, and breathe, right? Really funky. And then drop the chest, straighten the legs. Good, 2 more, bend the knees, lift your chest. right? Maybe you feel your fingers on either side of those elbows. And down. Straighten the legs. Last one. Bend your knees. Lift your chest. Lift, lift, lift. Hold. Bent knees, right? Chair pose. Slide those arms out from each other. Take the arms up. Woo, notice without the strap, it seems easier. Good, last one here. I want you to bend the elbows. We did this last class, if you were here, as if you were snow skiing, right? And you have a pole in both hands, and you're bending the knees, whew, working into this very dynamic chair pose. Keep it going, elbows are soft. And 5, 4, bend the knees, 2, and 1, stand up. And exhale, let it go. And roll your shoulders. Good job, everybody. So come toward the front of your mat, have both of your blocks, and have them up at the highest level. You can be on your mat, off your mat, it doesn't matter. Take your hands to your blocks, your legs are hips width apart, knees are soft. Your hamstrings lifting up, nice stretch here. Your blocks are on the highest level. Try to lengthen out through your torso and then walk the blocks out as far as you can and still stay grounded through your feet. Big deep breath. Breathe. There's a gentle press of your hands, of your fingers on your blocks. The knees are soft. The sit bones are wide. And then take your fingers to the front being the closer side of the block to you. And then tip the blocks away from you. This is long. This is a huge torso stretch. Now think down dog. Think about the back body getting wide, the collarbones getting wide. Find your breath. Untilt your blocks, land them. Walk them back closer to your feet. And come halfway up. Ooh. Bend your knees and come all the way up. And exhale. Good, roll your shoulders. Set your blocks aside. Come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees, step back, right leg. Keep your right hand where it is. Your right knee is either high or low. Come into your twist. Breathe. Exhale your hand to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Find that down dog that is energized by the upper back doing its share of the work, by strengthening through trapezius, rhomboids, latissimus. Breathe, plank pose. Whew. That's it, find that. Lower your knees, keep the pose, squeeze your beach ball. Come on down. Chaturanga. Whew, yeah. Little baby back bend. Exhale, down dog. Look through your hands. Step forward, right leg. Your left knee is down or up. Your left hand is on the floor, on your block. The right arm comes up. Think about the strength here, right? Single hand, single arm, holding your upper body. Big deep breath. That's it, you got it. And circle that hand back to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. To plank pose. Knees down. Chaturanga. Low back bend, cobra, sphinx. And then child's pose. And breathe. And notice, right? Just just notice how that felt. To flow, to move, to shift. Find your breath. Trust your body. All right, come on up. So we're going to do a pose we don't do very often. I don't know what the name of it is, if there is a name. But from table pose, I want you to step forward with your left foot. Actually, let's do right foot so I can face the camera so you can see what I'm doing, and then I'll turn around. So left foot forward, right foot back. And I want to give you an option. One of those options is just to stay here. Second option is going to be to come to a high lunge. Either case, you can have hands on blocks. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. I want you to turn your right foot out to the right and your back foot to the right so that you are in this kind of side plank with both your right foot pointing out and your left foot pointing out. I'm on the pinky side of my left foot. And then notice the strength of this left arm. If you want an option, there's not a good one here for a knee down, but you can, no, you really can't do much here for an option other than I would stay in a regular lunge or a lunge twist that we've done, and then take your right arm up. Lift your chest. Keep both legs active. Don't let the hips sink to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Move the block. Step back, downward facing dog. It's a funky little pose, but it's a great arm strengthener, shoulder strengthener. So let's do the other side. Right foot forward. Your hands can come to blocks if you'd like. You're going to turn everything to the, I did the same side. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same side. Left foot forward. Sorry about that, everybody. Your hand stays on the mat. Everything turns to the left. Your right hand's on the mat. Your left arm goes up. Breathe. Press strongly through your right hand, right arm, right shoulder, belly squeeze. And release. Down dog. Take your knees to the floor and come on down to your bellies. Oh, I know it. Just chill for a moment. It seems so right, and then I got it wrong. Good. Just bend one knee, squeeze it into your glutes, and straighten. And to the other side, squeeze it in, and straighten. Back to the one, straighten. Back to the other, squeeze. Straighten, bend both knees, squeeze both legs, both heels, close to your glutes, as close as you can get them. Upper body is soft. And straighten. Good, and then grab one of your blocks and take that block in your right hand. And take both hands back behind you. Draw your shoulders away from the floor and lift into a partial locust pose, just partial. And then take the block behind you, reach, leave the right hand back, and circle the left arm up, as if you were swimming. And then grab it with your right hand and bring it behind you. Reach back with your left, circle, reach forward, circle, reach back. One more, reach forward, reach back. Full circle and forward. And then both hands back. Relax your block down. Just turn your head to one side or the other. Just breathe. Good, we've got to go the other way. We just do, we have to. So both arms back. Grab the block with your left hand. Try to lift up, upper body, circle forward, grab it, circle back. Forward. Watch for the strain in the head neck. If it's too much, lower your head. Circle. That's 4. This is 5, last one. And circle, release. I think I did a shorter version on that side. Lower down. And breathe. Good, just set your block aside. Come up to your elbows. Come into Sphinx pose. So Sphinx is always an interesting pose to me. If you don't engage your belly, which I'm not right now, you sink into your lower back, which you may or may not feel. But if I draw my belly in and press to the bottom edge of my pubic bone, all of a sudden my back gets much longer and it feels good. And then I'm going to widen the collarbones. And I'm going to isometrically, excuse me, both squeeze my arms in and widen them out. Just like we did in downward facing dog, just like we did in table pose. So I'm both widening and engaging at the same time. And notice that, right? The chin is not lifted, the head is neutral. My belly is toned, tailbone is long, there's no pain there, there's no stress in the lower back. And lower down. And breathe. Maybe bend one knee and then the other, just stretching out. Good, so instead of Sphinx pose, I want you to take your hands not under your shoulders, but forward of your shoulders. Your head is down and your legs are long. So instead of being under here, I want you to be forward. Kind of halfway between Sphinx maybe, right? And then press into your hands and lift your torso. And as you do, bring the elbows into alignment. Start to lift up. This is a modification, a variation, right, of Cobra pose. Start to draw the shoulders wide, the collarbones wide, the back of the head pushing toward an imaginary block in alignment, not lifting your chin. And then feel that, and maybe bend the elbows more, feel that, right? Keep the elbows from splaying out. And then see if the arms will straighten. Squeeze the belly, tone. No pain in your low back, everyone. Feel that, notice it, right? Is it too much? If it is, maybe you lower part way. Maybe you lower the rest of the way. And then everybody come on down. Maybe turn your head the other way. Good, so option 1 is Sphinx. Option 2 is the kind of half Sphinx, half Cobra. Option 3, hands come down just below the shoulders. But this time I want you to take the hands wider than normal. I've got my hands half on, half off my mat. They're that wide. I'm going to draw the shoulders in. I'm going to press down through the pubic bone, squeeze my belly, head neutral, and press up. And notice, so with the hands this wide, it's not your traditional Cobra. It's an interesting version. I like this one a lot. I'm feeling a nice stretch in my belly. The shoulders are away from the ears. The elbows are squeezing in. I'm both squeezing in and pressing out with my upper body. I'm finding my breath here. And then super slow, super slow, lower down. Whew. Turn your head, bend one knee and then the other. Maybe windshield wiper the legs. If we never do back bends, we lose a really important movement in our spines. Our spine should be able to extend and contract, right? They should be able to. So don't be afraid of back bends, just find the back bends that work for your body. All right, straighten the legs. You know your choices. Maybe it's Sphinx again. Maybe even Sphinx is too much and you walk the elbows forward and have a lighter, softer Sphinx. Or your half cobra, or your wide hand cobra, or the hands are a little bit more lined up with your shoulders. I find this more challenging for my particular body. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna draw the shoulders, not just back, because we don't want to create an undue tension, but we're gonna just draw them back softly. Bring the elbows to your side, and I'm almost pulling my hands back already to lengthen my torso. Press into your pubic bone. Start to lift up. If I straighten my arms, it goes to my low back. So my elbows stay bent. My hands are pressing into the mat. I've got a belly squeeze going on. There's no pain in the low back. Breathe, everybody. And then super slow. Lower down. And let go of those hands. Stretch it out. Good. I want you to actually press back to child's pose. If child's pose is not accessible to you, go ahead and lay on your back because we're going to do a little side stretch here. So if you can't do child's pose, go on to your back. I'll give you a second option. So from child's pose, you're going to reach forward, stretch out your back, and then walk your hands to the right. If you're on your back, I want you to go to banana pose, right? Feet to the corner of your mat, shoulders hinge over, and stretch your side body that way. So either choice, you're in child's pose, you've walked your hands over to the right, you're stretching out that left side, or you're in banana pose, where you stretch heels to one corner, shoulders to the same corner, and stretch out that side of your body. Big deep breath, everybody. And then walk hands to center if you're in child's pose, or walk body back to center, and then walk everything to the other side. Stretching out the shoulders. And everything back to center. Come back to table pose. I know you think we should be done. Come back to downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Think about all the things we've just done. How do your shoulders feel in down dog? How does your back body feel in down dog? Does it feel more integrated? I hope so. And then walk your feet, tippy toe your feet back to your hands.
Pause in your forward fold. Bend your knees and come all the way up.
You're back to standing. Oh no. Shake out your shoulders. A lot of work there, right? No kidding. No kidding. All right. So balance pose. I'm gonna come to tree pose. I'm just moving my mat out the way because I want to. Oh. Find a solid mountain pose. Find the shoulders away from the center of your chest, right? They're nice and wide, but you're not squeezing back body. You're just wide, both front and back body. When you're ready, shift into your right leg and bring your left leg to your tree pose. You all, I think everybody knows this by now. You can stay low, you can stay medium, you can come up high, what feels right for your body. Once you're there, squeeze your thigh into your foot into your thigh, or your calf into your foot. Squeeze the belly, engage the standing leg. Hands come to heart. And breathe. One, stay here, that's enough, or come on out because you're working on it, or your fingertips are to a wall space. Two, the arms come out, tree pose. Feel the breadth of your shoulders, feel the width of your chest as you breathe. That's it. And then take the arms out to the side. Again, all this movement creates more challenge. Internally rotate both arms. Reach behind you, grab opposite elbows. Lift your chest, lengthen your tailbone. The elbows are heavy down your back. Find your breath. And think about posture. Think about how you carry yourself out in the world. Think about the power that you claim as a human being. Good. Release those arms. Hands come back to heart. Release the leg if it's still there. And shake it out. We know from many studies that the rounded shoulders, closed hearts affects our mood, our energy, our emotions. It also makes a difference if we open all of this, right? All right, shift, left leg, hands maybe to hips. Just find your balance on the left side. Bring the leg where it will go for you. Hands come to heart. Squeeze your left leg, left glute, left thigh or calf into your foot. Tone in the belly. Arms up. Breathe. One, stay here. Two, coming out as you choose. Otherwise, arms out to the sides. Big internal rotation. Reach them behind. Hold on the opposite elbow and then let those elbows get heavy down your back. Your chest is lifted, your shoulders are wide. Find your breath. And when you're ready, just release, take them out. Bring them back to your heart. And let it go. And shake it out, everybody. Come on back to your mat if you've stepped off. You folded it back, fold it back. Make it wide. And then in your most yogi way, come on down to your mat. Come on to your backs. See, I won't even make you do another down dog. So come on down. And lay on your back. Keep your knees bent. Feet to the floor. Palms are face up on your mat, and I just want you to feel your shoulders descending toward the floor. Find your breath. And then push into your feet. Lift your hips slightly. Shift just your hips to the right corner of your mat or the right edge of your mat. Bring your knees to your chest and allow your knees to come down to your left. Your left arm is nice and wide. Your right arm out to the side if you have room, or cactus arm if you don't. Easy twist here. You can always take a block under your knees, right? To soften that twist. And then take the right arm wide, reach it up to the ceiling, roll over your left shoulder as you stretch your right arm long. And then inhale it up and open it back to the right. Good, 2 more. Inhale it up. Stretch it as you roll over the left shoulder. And then inhale it up. Exhale, open it. Good, last one. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach. Inhale it up. Exhale, open. And release, bring the knees to center. Feet to the floor. Shift your hips first back through the middle, but over to the left edge. Bring the knees to chest. Lower your knees to the right. Same thing on this side. Just pause first in this nice twist. And then reach the left arm up. Curl over the right shoulder, just stretching it out. And inhale it up. Open it up. Inhale up. Exhale, close it over. And then inhale up. Stretch it out. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, close. Inhale, open it. And stretch. And then take your knees to your center, feet to the floor, your hips back to center. Bring your left knee to your chest, stretch it up straight, hands are behind your knee, point and flex your ankle. Give it a big circle one way, a big circle the other way. Bend that knee to chest and place that foot back on the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest, hands behind your knee. Straighten the leg up to the sky, point and flex your ankle. Big circle one way, big circle the other way. Bend that knee, bring it back to the floor. Both knees to chest, everybody. Squeeze it in. And then straighten one leg to the corner of your mat. Straighten the other leg to the corner of your mat. Squeeze everything to the center. And then let it go. One more time, big squeeze, everything legs, everything shoulders, arms, fists. And let it go. And then find Shavasana for you. Allow the legs to get heavy. Make your Shavasana comfortable. Maybe it's a blanket or a pillow under your knees. Maybe it's something under your head. And then close your eyes. And allow gravity to take hold. Allow your body to settle each and every cell, each and every muscle. Letting go of all tension, Feeling the soft flow of your breath moving through your body, feeding everything. Feel this heart open. Feel it beating. And know that as long as you are alive, you have a choice between love and apathy. Soften even more. Can you stay in this present moment and just breathe? Knowing that you can stay in Shavasana for as long, truly as long as you would like. If you are ready, start to wiggle toes and fingers. Slowly bending the knees, drawing your knees to your chest. Rocking side to side, curling over to one side. Embracing fetal pose. And then ever so gently coming all the way back up to your seated pose.